Chronicles, live in the flesh and the good, man. One little bit. You gonna tell them about yourself, your name, where you from, all that dumb, man.
What's going on? Y'all people's out there doing? My name is Lil Bit, DTG, 6th Street, downtown, till I die. Y'all already know. Y'all gotta throw in the 386, reppin' Daytona, because that's where I'm from.
Alright.
Let's go, let's do this.
There it is. Number one, how long you been spitting, man?
Let's see, actually, rapping, I've been doing it for about 4 years or so now, but I've been doing music a whole lot longer than that. In Daytona is where it really started. I started as a ghostwriter, and I have got to meet and be around a whole lot of different people in the industry, and especially a lot of industry rappers. And they would always say that my R&B songs that I would write, whenever I would have to go into the studio to lay the song down or show them, or even I've coached artists for them how to do it, they said I sound like I was rapping. And they started calling me the Ghetto Lauryn Hill as a joke.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
you talking rap.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like really doing the rap 100% for the past 4 years, but I've been doing music or been in the music for a while now, at least 10 years.
Okay, that's real, that's real. So you got a lot of time up under your belt.
Yeah, I definitely do. And again, I've wrote some good songs for us. Some of y'all heard on the radio. But the way I did it then, I wasn't, I just wrote it for fun. I wasn't trying to get into the music industry. I didn't grow up wanting to be a rapper or a singer. It was just a talent that I was blessed with. And my nana, my grandma, she would always say, if you don't use that talent, I think God gonna paralyze your tongue. You should use your talent. And so, that was my way of...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was my way of using the talent. And I would just write songs and just straight sell them. I didn't want anything from it. I did it for the fun.
Yeah. What kind of style does Lil Bit have? You know what I mean? Like, if I was to try to categorize your style, if I, got a CD store and I'm trying to decide where I'm gonna put your CD in, like what kind of style would you say that you have?
I would have to say I'm definitely in the line of gangster rap. Okay. My music tends to be a little more aggressive on my bars, and even with my R&B, it's like I took things and said it like in a gangster way. And when I'm doing R&B, I keep it gangster, but just maybe not as aggressive in those songs.
Okay. Now, as a female in the game, what are some challenges that, because I'm just a dude in the game trying, same thing like you doing, you know what I'm saying? But when females are trying to like get out there, they just tend to have like some kind of, setbacks, some type of, challenges that males maybe typically don't have to face. Do you agree? And if so, like what type of challenges do you think you deal with that males really don't have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think definitely for females, regardless of what the profession is, a lot of times, yes, we do have more challenges. And that is partly because of males, first of all, are supposed to be the alpha and, just the head of the household, the head of everything. And that had put such a stigma on the position that the female was supposed to play. And also it comes from ancestors, other females who, may have done things a different way. Like I can't say that some female, whether they're singers or rappers in the music industry, put a stigma around females that we have to do a sexual favor or be sexual to get anywhere in life. And that's just a person that I've never had to be. Like I really have gotten anywhere in my life, in any profession, just being me and having that assertion and just letting people know off top that that's not the type of person that I am. I teach my daughters that you don't have to use your body or use a man as a meal ticket. I think that there's nothing sexier about a female than a female who has her own voice and her own mind.
Did y'all just hear that? Hey, run that back one more time.
I feel like there's nothing sexier about a female than one that has her own voice and her own mind, who can speak up and stand up for what she feels is right, even if it may not feel right to anybody else. It's right to her. And just being her own advocate. If she has children, being their advocate, being her man's advocate, you know, when need be. Because there are times when, you know, men just don't know how to deal and talk in certain situations. And it's better for that female to be there. It's, you know, situations with shock where, just a quick example, we were in Dade and we both got arrested at the same time. And, you know, I bonded out like that quick. And it just, you know, God blessed for me to be able to bond out, to show up to his first appearance. And they had it televised. I wasn't in the same room that he was. And he got up and got ready to speak. But like he said, before he could open his mouth, it's like I was there, blocked the bullshit. And I noticed that before him, they were asking how many dependents did people have, and so on and so forth, all these different questions. But when it got to him, the lady was like, we're going to just remand him. We're going to hold him until the court date, you know, because he has 17 previous charges and some of them violent. So that's when I just, excuse me, you know, if I can speak. And she said, okay, well, I'm his wife. And I noticed that you didn't ask him how many dependents he has. He has 9 because he has 8 children, and then he has me. We're in a county and a city where we don't know anybody. So you mean to tell me you're going to leave his wife alone with some of the physical conditions that I have, and to just fend for myself? You know, who says I have any money and property? Like, how am I supposed to be able to, you know, be safe or do anything with my husband locked up? And you said 17 prior charges, which means previous. And if I'm not mistaken, that means before. I don't care what country you're in, that means past. And if he's been charged and he has no open warrants, that means he went to court and took responsibility for those actions. And unless those crimes are relevant to today, or we are proceeding under the Williams rule, where that you're going to go back and look at other cases to see where they're relevant to this case here, to prove, you know, any criminal activity, then I see no point in holding him. He doesn't have any failure to appears, so that means that he's not going to butt court. So again, you're holding him based on what?
Right.
And the judge said, I can't do anything but agree. We're going to go ahead and release him.
See what I'm saying?
So, you know, I think that just a woman with her own voice and her own mind who's not scared to step forward is the best thing. And I think that women need to learn how to do that more and stop doing, you know, just stop basing our whole image around sex. Because it's too much, and that has created the challenge for females in the music industry. The stigmas that previous artists have placed upon us, that's all that they can talk about in their music, having sex with a guy for a car or a hairdo or a house. I can't talk about that in my music. I spit true to life. I talk what I know, and I've never had to be that type of woman. So I try to teach women that you don't have to be that type of woman.
Very powerful words for the ladies out there. Very powerful. As a mother, how do you balance having a family and a husband, which we'll get into that next, and you know, your career? Like, how do you find the time and the capability to be able to hit the grind as much as you do? Every time I come out of film, I can always see y'all out here, so y'all stay on the grind. How do you find the time to be able to be a mother, be a wife, and be an artist?
Really, I make my music life work around my family life, because the music is important and I'm very passionate about it, but family is most important. You know, that's the way that I was raised, that, you know, the family should always come first before any other thing, any material thing, you know, anything like that. And so it has to work around our children's lives. And we constantly ask them how they feel about us, you know, going to do. If we have to do a show somewhere, we make sure there's nothing that we need to do and be there for them. And that's basically kind of what makes it easy, just making sure that music is going to work around our family life, and also taking time out for them. You know, they know during these hours, this is what we're going to do. But then after that, we are very focused on them, whether it's sitting down, helping them with projects, going to recital. Our children are just as ambitious as us. They have very full and busy schedules. And a lot of times, we all don't even get in the house until about 9 o'clock.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, like I said, every time I come by, you know, and I ride by this all the time, and I always see y'all on your ground. What other type of entrepreneur endeavors do y'all have? Like, do y'all have any other type of hustles that you do that's outside of music? You know what I mean? Like, what other type of grinds do you have to get by?
Yeah, well, I do nails, and it's something that I'm very good at. A lot of the girls, like, around here, they constantly stop me, oh, what can you do my nails? So I try to, on our slower days, like Monday and Tuesdays, those are our free days. If they catch me and I'm in the mood, then I'll do their nails. Also, just little investments, and you can do that easily. I tell people, you know, you can take your money, for instance, if we wanted to put our money behind you, it's an investment. Going to buy little nail stuff, it became an investment. You know, it's extra money. I also have a phlebotomy certification that I've had since I was 17. I can draw blood at any given time that I want to. I do a lot of clinical studies, and I have a lot of big companies that can back me and the way that I work as an employee. And in that phlebotomy, I'm one bad mosquito. I ain't big enough to be a vampire.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to school for forensic psychiatry. In my spare time, I love to read medical books, psychiatry books, reading up on serial killers, reading up on the brain. And I'm trying to teach myself to access different parts of the brain, because we go through life not even accessing different parts of our brain, like working our brain at 100% of its capacity. So I'm reading books on learning how to do that. I've also worked as an administrative assistant for a very long time. I've worked in City Hall. I've worked for the city of West Palm Beach. I've been personal assistants to some very big CEOs. You know, and I do try to find any type of like way, or, you know, some class or something that I can just have under the belt if I wanted to take time off, because I can't say like if we fall off, we don't have the potential to do that. Shop and I are very driven people, and really every move we make that move so that it can benefit us, you know, like so it can push us forward. And everything that we do, at the end of the night, we talk every night, because even though we're together all the time, we're not really together, and we don't get to really talk. So every night when we go home, after we've sat with the kids and given them their time, we give each other that mandatory time and ask each other, you know, how the day went. If it was something that he needed to tell me and he didn't get a chance to, we brainstorm on what we can do to take our careers further. You know, maybe if we were losing money, how can we fix that?
Gotcha.
You know, and just really making a plan and everything out. A lot of people don't do that anymore. They just rush right into things. But me and Shock, like, we really, this is what we have given the past, gosh, like so many years to putting our all into, that we have to make sure that we're going to take off at this point. Otherwise, we did everything in vain. And what's the point in swimming halfway to Cuba and you can see the shoreline, to either drown or turn back?
Gotcha. Now, you know, you and Shock, y'all had the Bonnie and Clyde mixtape, you know what I mean? And that's been buzzing in the streets. I know y'all had some projects after that, but I still bump that Bonnie and Clyde, you know what I mean? So a lot of people didn't know that y'all were actually married. Like, how did that work out? Like, I mean, it seems like y'all got a lot of communication, and y'all actually speak to each other to be able to work out, you know what I mean, your differences and your situations, you know what I'm saying, get the way y'all trying to go. So how long have y'all been married? Where did y'all get married at? Like, you know, how did that work out? 'Cause a lot of people ain't know that.
Yeah, well, Shock and I were friends for a long time. We actually were not sexually intimate for more than a year after we started even talking. I met Shock, it was, I guess, just accidentally, really. I was taking paperwork into the courthouse from City Hall, and I went on the wrong floor. He was on that floor, and I was asking the lady for directions, and I heard somebody say, "Damn," like real loud. And I have on this pencil skirt that came just below the knee and a bustier, but it had a little blazer over it, and I had gotten hot from walking. I took it off, and he just said, damn, and he said he didn't mean to say it, so it made me notice him. So I turned around and said, excuse me? And he's like, oh, like nothing. So it made me notice him, and I'm thinking in my mind, I say, well, damn, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and he got on Dickies and a Rest in Peace shirt. Like, this nigga thuggy. So I'm like, he cute. So I sat down by him. Now I'm acting like I have a reason to be on that floor. I sit down by him. I'm trying to get him to start conversation. And I had to actually use my son as a ruse to, to kind of get us talking and stuff. And then he started telling me about his music. And I said, oh, I love music. I love to write music. He's like, well, maybe you should call and we can get into this music thing. He didn't call me for about 3 weeks. Flatline Mafia was really doing a big thing then. And our first conversation, we were on the phone for about 2 hours. And we just started, talking more past the music on personal lives and stuff. And after talking for a while, we found that in our situations, we were very unhappy, and especially in the situation that I was in. And so I would lean on him, a lot for comfort or even advice, and him the same thing. And once we finally got out of those situations, we really started being around each other like every day, all the time. And I would take my sons on their boys' day out, and I invited him out. And sometimes I would just go to be around him and his brothers. And after coming around for so long, they gave me the name Lil Bit. Like, once you are inducted into the clique, you get a nickname. And so Lil Bit was mine, but he also gave me the name Cupcake. That's what he calls me, like off camera. And we were dating for about 4 or 5 years. And Sean asked me to marry him, and I told him no, that I just didn't feel like we were ready in our lives at that point. He asked me about 3 times, and I still said no. So the 4th time, he got a little upset about it. And so I just said, well, just give me one reason why you feel like, this is what we need to do. And he's like, well, why not? He was like, I never hurt you. I never lied to you. I always have your back. That's not good enough reason. I've always been there for you. I've never given you any reason to doubt anything, and you've definitely never given me a reason to doubt or distrust. You're different from any female that I've ever been with. You're 100% real all the time. And I've never lied to him. He's never lied to me. I've never cheated on him. He's never cheated on me. And even if it happened, like, Shock and I have such a chemistry, and we're such a unit, like people should be in their relationships, that it's nothing that we can't talk about. It's nothing that he can't come to me with, and I never judge him by what he says or does. And it takes a special type of woman to deal with a man like him, coming from the streets, coming from the hood that he comes from, and living the way that he lived. And I gave him a sense of security, and also showed him a different avenue. Showed him that he didn't have to live like that. That there was more to life than that. There was more ways to get money than just that way. And, mind you, I jumped off the porch when I was 12. I was thugging and slanging just like the average nigga was. And wait, mind you, I was that. One girl was like 3 guys in our city, and then me.
Gotcha.
And, I was really heavy into it. But I got to a point in my life where I just wanted more. So I did the same thing, started taking different avenues, different classes, and decided I was going to pull myself back from that. No matter how hard it got, I was not going to go back to it. And gave Shock a life that nothing would make him jeopardize losing it.
Right. Talented, educated, and taken, boys. Remember that. Do you have some words of encouragement for any females that may be in Palm Beach County, outside of Palm Beach County, anywhere, that's trying to get in the game, that's trying to at least get where you've been as far as like exposure, creativity, productivity, things like that? Do you have any words of encouragement for any upcoming
Yes,
female artists?
and actually to speak on that, I'm writing a book. I'm in the process of writing a book, and the title is Life Behind Bars. And it's a metaphor for life behind the music. And, because bars are, the basically sentences. But life behind, the music, and also life being in prison in that dream, chasing that dream. You know, there's a lot of doors slammed in your face as well as a lot of them open. There's a lot of challenges you face just as a woman and trying to get yourself heard or get yourself seen. I mean, there's been some things that I've been asked of that I would never, as bad as I wanted, like I would never do it. And just number one, be consistent.
Yeah.
Don't get into it to get out of it, to get back into it, to get out of it.
Right.
Also making sure that your music is good quality music. Don't just write for yourself, write for the people as well. Also, you know, just
Battery.
being
One second.
okay.
Oh, that.
You know what I'm saying? Being universal, let it be something that everybody can feel. Also, if you have kids, make sure you put them first and just be passionate. Do you be original? You know, that originality is what's key to setting you apart from everybody else and really getting people to notice you. You know, because 5 people can be trying to sell me a pizza and they all have pepperoni and then one person have cheese. I may be liable to go with the cheese or hear what he has to say because I know what pepperoni and cheese tastes like. Or say cheese pizza with mushrooms and some type of different exotic cheese. I'm more liable to try that because it seems more original than everything else on the plate. Yeah, and just mainly just being consistent.
Gotcha. Last question, Lil Bit. What can we expect from you next? What kind of projects you working on? Anything? What can we expect from you next?
Okay, well, aside the book, well, the book is going to expose not just the good part because the media, they put this, they paint this false picture that there's overnight success and there isn't. Nobody had it. Lil Wayne, Nicki, Drake, Lady Gaga, nobody had it. It is a grind. It is a sacrifice. You don't just sacrifice your health. You don't just sacrifice your sanity. You sacrifice your friends. You sacrifice your family members. You sacrifice your life, period. Whatever life that you had before that or whatever life you saw for yourself, once you get into it and you're passionate about it and you get doors open like we have, being blessed to get paid shows and getting blessed to be paid the amount that we get paid. We get paid some good money. Even, you know, and getting paid for our features and, you know, doing the shows we have like DJ Drama, Juvenile, going to places we get to go, the gifts and stuff that people throw at us. Very nice, expensive gifts. And, you know what I'm saying, just even like being blessed with some people in our life, these are the people that we call supporters, not even fans. They really support us. And outside, you know, the music as well, whether it's making sure we get a ride or calling to see if we need something. The store we're sitting in, Sam is like one of my closest friends. He's like really there for me whenever I need him. Like the flea market, everybody in there is like family to us. If I'm sick, they're gonna check on us. They're gonna make sure we don't need anything. They're gonna ask about us if they don't see us. You know what I'm saying? They're like our family. So another project, Teflon Glory, is my solo album. Again, I started out singing. So I have at least 5 to 7 songs where I'm going to be singing on there. Another one of my singles I'll be releasing soon is called Insecurities. And it's a song about going through your mate's phone and finding something. And, and you know, then you go to them and you, with all this, I found this in your phone and you ain't this and that. And you know what I'm saying, being hurt by it and say, you hurt me, but no, you hurt yourself. Granted, I was wrong for what I did. But you got what you went looking for. You know what I'm saying? So they're on there definitely. I'm still gonna have some rap hits, but I'm gonna have some of my good R&B music. And I've always written all of my music, but they really get to hear me on this project. I'm only gonna have 2 features. So on every song, it's just gonna be straight me. And I've taken my time with writing and my concepts. And I'm telling you, like people say they set the bar, I set all 64. Like you gonna have to run it because every last one of mine straight fire.
Yeah, it is. And when you say that, I believe it. I listen to you.
And also Shock and I will be renewing our vows So that's another project that we're working on.
Okay, hey, that sounds like the most important one to me.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. When we got married, we did something very private because I wanted something very private. We're pretty much public figures, and I just wanted a moment for just me and him. I didn't care about nobody else being there. Yeah. I'm marrying him. He's marrying me. Yeah. And you know who my bridal party was? My Flatline Mafia niggas. Cool Cake. You know what I'm saying? My brother.
Shout out to Cool Cake, man.
Yeah.
Boy, you doing your thing, boy.
Free Cool Cake. Free my nigga. You know what I'm saying? They're my brothers. And you don't see me with no females. And it's not that I don't like females. I have some females that I holler at every now and again. But my niggas, like, they everything to me. And they're very protective over me, just like I'm protective over them. But yeah, we got Bonnie and Clyde Volume 2 that'll be coming up. And you know, we gonna keep it in your ear as much as we grind, man. And you know, that's another thing, you artists, you've got to get out there and promote yourself. Fuck a street team. You are your street team. You are your voice. Ain't nobody gonna promote you like you. Yes, man, so definitely that.
So there you have it, baby. Hood Chronicles, live in effect. You just heard it live from a little bit. Yeah, but yo, man, it was a pleasure, man.
It was a pleasure, definitely, talking to y'all. And I know a lot of people be scared to approach me when they see me out. And, you know what I'm saying, I don't mind that, even though I've expressed that. It, you know, once you are forced to become these people 24 hours a day, because you used to could turn the switch off and on. You know what I'm saying? If I'm at the movies, people come up, I'm forced to have to be a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind it depending on how you approach me, but please do. Come up, say hi. You know, we always have music on deck. If you ain't got it and you want your copy, you know what I'm saying, you can do that. And you ain't never gotta ask, yes, these my real eyes. And yes, you can fuck shop, but you gotta fuck me first. Check out my Facebook pages, facebook.com. Let me see, I got 2 pages, facebook.com/2LilBitToQuit, and also facebook.com Lil Bit DTG First Lady. I'm on Twitter at Lil Bit vs Bonnie, and I'm also on Instagram at 2LilBitToQuit, and that's with the number 2s. Send me requests, and if I see you, or if it's hard for me to see the notifications. I get so many at a time, and it only holds so many. I had somebody come on there like 300 pictures in a row. So if you liked one, I wasn't gonna see it, but I do holler back. So yeah, man, y'all keep showing love and spreading love, and we gonna keep coming at y'all with that good gangsta shit. DownTown Guerrillas, a little bit. Signing out.
Hood Chronicles, this is rap, X.